Welcome to the Mommin Around Podcast, second episode. So excited to have you guys here today. And today we're doing a little bit of a Christmas episode. I know we're a few weeks away, but I thought to get everybody into the holiday spirit, what a better way than a Christmas podcast to listen to, especially a fun podcast, I think. Whoops, there goes my phone. So before we get into it, I am exhausted. And why am I exhausted? Did Calla keep me up last night? Absolutely not. She's an angel baby. Actually, 2 nights ago, she slept really, really, really good. And we had a full night's sleep, and that was amazing. And then last night, my body decided to wake me up every half hour. Like, I'm talking like pregnancy wake up. So I was nonstop up. And when I'm nonstop up, my anxiety goes nuts. And, I'm just on my second coffee because I have no energy, complaining about my anxiety. So it all makes sense. But anyway, here we are. Everybody struggles with it. We will get through it. I just, if she's sleeping, I should be sleeping. And it's so frustrating when you can't sleep. It's like there's nothing you can do. I mean, like my body was just waking me up. And I would fall asleep and dream and think like, oh, finally, like now it's time. And then I'd wake up a half an hour later. So frustrating. But that's where we're at. So if I'm low energy today, that's why. So if you're new here, I'm Liz Mercedes, your Mommin Around host and a new mom to a baby girl, like I said, Calla. You might hear in the background, we're going through a little bit of a fussy phase right now. I'm not sure what's going on with her, but for some reason, she's having meltdowns here and there. I mean, she does protest for naps all day, so it's probably overtiredness, maybe a growth spurt. But she's been giving us these like absolute meltdown tantrums, and they are awful. So you might hear in the background, Nick is making her a bottle, so maybe not. Hopefully not. But if you do, it's her, just letting you know her presence. So this podcast is made to be an outlet from the pressures of momming and a place to let loose, bond with other moms, and laugh your woes off. If you like what you hear, subscribe, follow us on social media, and join our newsletter. My newsletter. It's my podcast. By now, our merch should be live, which is so exciting. So go get something for that special mom in your life who deserves it. I'm, really into Christmas, usually, all the time, actually. But sometimes, like, buying everybody Christmas gifts is, like, really stressful. So I'm saying make a new tradition with your friends and do New Year's gifts instead, and get one of your friends a Mommin Around sweatshirt or mug for New Year's instead of Christmas. It takes the pressure a little bit off. You have a few days in between. It's nice. So let's get into the episode. My parents always made Christmas so magical. So as a new mom, I feel like the pressure's on. Even though we have a lot of Christmas activities that we're doing, and I ordered our Christmas cards and we're getting pictures with Santa, and I totally understand she doesn't really know what's going on, I still feel like that pressure is like really, really there. But I think that this Christmas is going to be really magical. If not for her, because she doesn't know what's going on, at least for me and Nick. We've had Elf on the Shelf for years, but this is the first time that we're actually doing Elf on the Shelf, which is so fun. So I have odd days. Nick has even days, and we're committing to moving it every day. We haven't missed a day yet. We actually tease each other at the end of the night. Whoever's night it is, we'll be like, it's your night tonight. Don't forget. Don't forget. So it's been really fun to like wake up every other day and be surprised by where the elf is and what funny thing he's thought to do. And I hope that he feels the same way on my end. If you are doing Elf on the Shelf and you live under a rock and you haven't heard this yet, Target dollar section has a bunch of Elf on the Shelf stuff. So I went and I bought a little Elf on the Shelf like gingerbread man thing to dress him in. So that was one of the days. And then another one of the days I bought like a DJ booth for him, and they were $1 each, which was so nice. So literally he stood behind the DJ booth one of the days. There are so many ideas that I have going through my head though. Those were just like really easy ones to just like pop them in. But I'm really excited to continue Elf on the Shelf and the rest of the season. We have, like I said, a really exciting season ahead of us. We did a couple Christmas things last week. So Friday, we had a company Christmas party, which was so fun. And then yesterday, we did like a Christmas brunch with like my book club. We called it a Christmas brunch, but there was nothing Christmas themed there. Totally fine. We had a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going to keep doing all the Christmas things. It's funny because we grew up right outside New York City. And they were like, I feel like that's your quintessential like Christmas vibe, right? With like the snow and, you have Rockefeller Center and the tree and all of that. And so when we moved here, I was like, oh, there's not going to be as much like Christmas spirit here. Quite the opposite. It is warm, which is really nice. So you can actually get outside and enjoy being outside. But at the same time, there's so much going on. So we're going to the Ziegler Trail of Lights 2 weeks, next week, whatever it is. And then also there's a cafe called Mozart's in Austin. It's right on the lake, and they have like a Christmas light show. So that'll be fun. We're doing that on Friday. So you're listening to this on Thursday. We're doing this tomorrow, which is exciting. And like I said, we're just doing a bunch of Christmas stuff. We already had her go and take pictures with Santa. That's our Christmas card. I'll post it probably closer to Christmas because I haven't sent them out yet. But then our apartment complex also has like pictures with Santa, like Christmas party on Thursday tonight when you're listening to this. And that should be fun too. So yeah. If you need Elf on the Shelf ideas, I'm going to start the newsletter this week. So I will be putting all our Elf on the Shelf things there. If not, or if the newsletter isn't up yet, because it might not be, again, lack of sleep, follow me on Instagram because we both post what we do every single day. Today, Nick put the Elf on the Shelf in one of our cookie jars, and that was really cute. Our cookie jar is Santa. So he was like popping out of Santa. It was really cute. I'm also like really big into Christmas traditions. I feel like my family didn't overtly say we had traditions. Like there wasn't like a conversation about traditions that we had, but we just naturally did things every single year. So we always watched A Christmas Story. My dad loved A Christmas Story. After Thanksgiving, and I believe after Christmas, I might be wrong about Christmas because we had leftovers in our house, but definitely after Thanksgiving, we would watch A Christmas Story and eat popcorn for dinner. Because you're stuffed from actual Thanksgiving dinner, but like you want like a snack at the end of the night, and that's what we would do. And I don't think after Christmas we did that because my mom always hosted Christmas, so we would have leftovers for like a week after. And then after Christmas Eve, it was like late, so we wouldn't do it then. But we definitely always watched A Christmas Story after Thanksgiving and ate some popcorn, which was nice. We also had an advent calendar, which I always look forward to. I will never forget it. I mean, my mom still has it, but I will like never forget it in my mind. The 5th had a Christmas gift in the little pocket, and the Christmas gift was like nice and big, and I always couldn't wait until we got to the 5th so I could pull out the little Christmas gift. And the other ones were cute too, but the Christmas gift was always my favorite because like it bulged more than all the other ones. I don't know. So something I'm doing for Calla is I'm making a scrapbook of every Christmas. So this is our first Christmas that we're doing it. Obviously, it's her first Christmas here. So I'm going to take our Christmas card, and that's going to be like the first page of this year. And then I have an advent calendar that I was going to do Polaroids with, but I just feel like it almost feels not genuine because I'm like pulling out the Polaroid, whereas like I click away on my phone. So I think I'm just gonna print, and she has like so many different outfits that she's been wearing this season and she's gonna continue to wear. So I think I'm just gonna print the pictures off my phone. I think I want to get one of those little like phone printer things. They're so cute, but they're also like not super cheap. But I feel like just plugging it into my phone and like taking the day and like making it will be really fun. I'm also gonna put like tickets. So I think at Mozart's we get tickets, maybe not for our reservation at Zilker. I think we definitely get tickets to do the Trail of Lights. So I'm going to put those in there. And then any little thing here and there. I'm also going to we wrote notes for all our elves. So I'm going to put all those notes in there and some pictures of all our elves in there. Maybe not every single one because that's a lot of them, but at least some of them, like the highlights, like the best ones, the ones that made us laugh the most. So yeah, we're just really having fun this holiday season. But I'm excited to look back at the memories of the scrapbook because I just feel like you this year it's a little bit more chill. She's more of a newborn, and she's not going to remember it, so it's going to be nice to look back and show her what we did her first year. But going forward, there's definitely a hustle and bustle during this time of year, and I feel like sometimes you can miss things because of hustle and bustle. So having the scrapbook to just like be able to like reflect on the season at the end of the season will be really nice, I think, for me. Especially because I'm sure I'm going to be the one hustling and bustling, because isn't that the way it works, moms? We are the ones making the memories and making sure that everything is done. So yeah, so that's my plan for keeping memories alive and being able to look back and just like having fun. I'm excited for that. So I have some segments today, some Christmas fails and stuff. That'll be really fun. But I'm going to start off with a greatest gift idea. So, I think that for kids, too many toys can be like overstimulating, and I think that a lot of parents these days like think about that. So I was looking on Reddit for like different ideas, and this woman said, for my 13-year-old son, for every Christmas and birthday, I would offer a choice: take a trip or get presents, which is great. So you're not forcing him to take a trip, but he can have a trip or presents. Excuse me, my throat is getting a little scratchy. Um, he got what he wanted all year anyway, so he always chose the trip. We've made some great memories. I think that the memories, like, I remember, I could not tell you what I got most Christmases, but I remember most of my trips with my parents. We would always go on like a summer trip and a spring break trip. Break trip was always just like a drivable trip, and then sometimes the summer trip was a drivable trip, and sometimes it was we would fly. But I could probably tell you in detail most of those trips, which is amazing. So I think this is a great idea. 14 days is a long time at Busch Gardens, one Christmas vacation. That was one of the best because there was 0 lines in December and the weather was a beautiful 70 degrees. Running around from coaster to coaster, carefree. That was really special. It just takes super budget traveling to do stuff like that. I was a single mom at 18 and never got a penny of child support and was able to pull off great stuff twice a year. The memories that we both have for a lifetime trump any plastic toys. Never bought a single present, but it was all a win. I agree with that. I think that's amazing. I think that I've always made travel a priority, and when you have a baby, I think it's hard to even like see an era where you can do that because they're so dependent on all their stuff. You have like the bottle sanitizer and the bottle warmer and this and that. And so you're like, I'm like kind of trapped to my stuff. And you have your pump if you're pumping, And so it's like hard to like think of a time where you could just like go. But I feel like a year from now, definitely 2 years from now, we'll be going. And obviously she'll be more bored, and she'll need more entertainment, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to instill like experiences in her life. I think that's a great idea, and I think we should all be striving for experiences. My sister-in-law one year asked for experiences and not toys for her daughter, and I love that. My mom asked what I wanted to give, what I wanted her to give Calla this year, and at her age, she'll be 3 months, actually the day you're listening to this, but at her age, I just feel like she doesn't know anyway, so clothes is great, but I asked her to order a Love Every kit because those are great, I think. And even though they're technically a toy, like I think developmentally that'll be great for her this year. And then I think going forward we'll do like an experience together, like maybe like a girls experience together, which will be nice with my sister and her. But this year we did stick to the toys because I just felt like the Love Every boxes are great. And this is not sponsored. So, I pulled up some Christmas fails. It was actually really hard to find Christmas fails, but I really wanted to find them because I feel like sometimes we mess up. So maybe you dropped the ball last Christmas and you need to feel better about yourself. Or maybe like me, you just want to laugh at other people failing because life is too short not to laugh. So here are some Christmas fails. All right. I have a funny story about being the disappointed kid. I was in 5th grade and had been taking horseback riding lessons 2 or 3 times a week for nearly 3 years. All my friends had their own horses, so that's what I'd been asking for every holiday. That year, I was positive I was getting a horse for Christmas. I'd proved that riding wasn't just a hobby I'd forget about in a few months, and I'd shown responsibility by volunteering to clean stalls for free lessons. Everything my parents said I needed to show them I was ready for such a big commitment. Christmas morning comes, and I'm jumping out of my skin. I'm so excited. Are they going to drive me to the barn to show me? Will he be in a trailer in the driveway waiting? They tell me that my gift is in the backyard, and I'm already crying with joy as I run to the window. I keep asking where as I scan the yard for my new pet. I don't even see the giant trampoline right in front of me. As soon as my mom points it out, I wilt. I just sit on the floor with my head in my hands and sob for a good 30 minutes. They had to force me to open the rest of my presents and didn't crack a smile all day. The pictures are hilariously depressing. I got a horse the following summer, and I think the trampoline guilt played a big part. Oh my gosh, that's awful. Poor thing. I feel like if your kid is asking for something and they're actually showing the responsibility, get it for them, you know? I mean, but a horse is a big ask. I do think that if you're not getting them the thing, like warn them, prepare them, let them know. Actually, my sister, every single year growing up, probably from age like 6 on, would be disappointed every single Christmas, every single one, because my parents didn't get her a dog. And every single year, she would open up all her gifts. She would be so excited. And then when she didn't have a dog, she would just mope for the rest of the day. And that's my parents' Christmas fail. I'm just kidding. They did a great job. My sister just, really wanted a dog and they didn't want to commit to that. I totally get that now that I'm an adult. I feel like I didn't get that as a kid. I was like, why wouldn't you just get her a dog? But now that I have my own dog, like a dog is a huge responsibility and they like to travel with us and they like to, go out and experience things and not be tied to a home. And you are tied to your home when you have a dog. It's very hard to travel and not worry about them. And it's very hard to even leave the house for a long, extended period of time and not worry about them because they're home alone and they're your baby. I am obsessed with my dog. I don't know if you guys know that. Her name's Winnie. She will be 4 and she is the love of my life besides Calla. But she's definitely Calla's bigger sister. We let her know and we let Calla know that they're sisters. That's what they are. Another Christmas fail. This one's short and sweet. I got a scooter for Christmas. Pretty rad gift, save for the fact that my leg was broken. I want to know, was your leg broken from the scooter? Like, did you scoot right out and then it broke? Or did you get your leg broken because of the scooter? I'm going to go with the former. All right, here's another Christmas fail. Ugh. We know it's going to be a good one when it starts like that. My family, including aunt, grandparents, family, friends, always used to go Christmas tree hunting at the tree farm where I live. It was a huge event, usually lasted all day. We'd go farm to farm until each family had their perfect tree. When I was a kid, we had just gotten off the hayride out at the far end of the farm when I had to take a leak. My mom suggested I go be behind a tree away from everyone, so I tried. I was too young to nature squat unassisted and ended up peeing square in my pants right at the beginning of our long day. I was less amused than everyone else, to say the least. Oh my gosh, that's awful. I have a couple funny pee stories, but they're not of me, so I'll save that for when these people come on my podcast. But I can't imagine having to walk around with pee stain on you, no matter what age. Because it's just embarrassing. But like I said, I have a special someone in my life that has more than one pee story. So sorry about that. That's definitely a Christmas fail on your parents. They should have helped you nature squat, which is the first time I've ever heard that term, nature squat. It's kind of funny. Okay, here's another Christmas fail. Don't know if this will be funny to anyone else, but I'm still laughing now, remembering the mess of the first Christmas I can really remember. I loved reading from a very early age, and my family loved that, and we're happy to spread it around. So, Christmas, when I'm 4 years old, I start opening presents and I start finding books. I love it at first. I got books for my parents, my grandparents, my aunts, and uncles. Everyone knew I loved books. The present opening continues, and my cousins are getting toy after toy. I'm getting more books. I'm starting to get a little down about this. And I learned later that my family started getting worried and comparing notes and realizing that not a single person got me a toy. Yeah, I love books, but I was a 4-year-old. I like to play too. Eventually, my aunts and uncles start making my cousins give me some of their toys to play with and said Santa made a mistake, which just pissed me off. Everyone around my age, and none of us believe that. So I went outside to the front yard to play and pout away from all the toys and books. After a little bit, the next door neighbor walks up saying, Merry Christmas, and has a bunch of presents for us kids. I know where this is going. He hands me one. I tear it open, so excited to finally get a toy. And it's another book. My little brain broke about then, and I just remember sitting straight down in a puddle and crying. Neighbor was distraught about what he'd done done wrong, and my mom had to explain it to him. The last thing is the part that mostly cracks me up and everyone else up. The poor neighbor didn't know he was my last hope for a toy of my own that day, and my little preschool misery ended up taking him out as well. We all had kind of a sick sense of humor. In the end, I learned early on that too much of a good thing is bad, and my family learned to compare notes a little better on what they were getting each other for Christmas. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Poor thing. I can't imagine, but also a funny memory to look back on. I wonder if that like discouraged her from liking books, because I feel like it would. Early on, 4 years old, only getting books, and you're like, no, I just want toys. Actually, I have kind of a story, not a Christmas story that compares to this, but I blame my impulse buying on this one time when I was little. I was at the book fair and my mom had given me $20. And my mom was always, when she gave us money, she was like, make sure you bring change home. Make sure you don't spend it all. And so it was the book fair, and I wanted this magician like kit. Okay. So I go, and the magician kit was $20, and my mom said that I had to come home with change. So I did not spend the $20. And I, was upset that I didn't spend the $20. I really wanted the magician kit. My mom said, no problem. We'll go back, because they had like a Saturday book fair day. So my mom was like, we'll go back on Saturday and we'll get the magician's kit. No big deal. No big deal. So Saturday rolls around, and me, my mom, my aunt, and my sister go. And I'm so excited to get the magician's kit. And we walk into the book fair, and I run over to where it is, and the magician's kit is gone. They'd sold out of the magician kit. And, obviously my mom felt bad, but she did say, like, one of the things she said was, you should have gotten it the other day. Like, you had the money, like, you should have gotten it. And ever since then, that's it. I impulse buy, because what if it's gone? Now that I'm thinking about this, and now that I'm like reflecting on this, I feel like the book fair, I know like it's trying to like teach kids like to shop and stuff, but I feel like because the kids are unattended, like without their parents, and things like this can happen, we are promoting consumerism at a very young age. And like I said, a lot can happen, and the parents aren't directly there to help kids sort through things like this, and they only have usually like a teacher there, but it's like one per like 20 students, so like a lot can happen. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about book fairs. That's just a me thing. Anyway, let's move on to our next segment. I love Am I the Asshole videos on TikTok, so I found one just for this episode, and of course it's Christmas themed. So let's get into it. It's here on my screen. So if I'm looking up, that's what I'm looking at. Okay. Hi, everyone. Looking for some advice here. and to see if I'm being a total a-hole. I did not read this, so bear with me. I've been married for 7 years, and every year without fail, we have had Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and a lot of the time Boxing Day with my in-laws. I've also often hosted a Christmas Eve or Boxing Day get together, and last year was voluntold to cook Christmas Eve dinner for 15 and bring it to another family member's home to facilitate their plans. Okay, already I'm annoyed. You were told and you have to bring it from your house somewhere else. Like transporting food, especially like a whole meal, is just not fun. I don't hate this, but primarily I do it for my spouse. However, since we've had kids of our own, I am resenting it, and I think it's time to focus Christmas on our kids and our home more. I totally get that. My parents-in-law and several of my husband's siblings live within a 2-minute walking distance, so I see them virtually every day and really love them a lot. I make a huge effort with them all. His other siblings, who also has kids, live 20 minutes away. This household is a bit overbearing, and if neither of them are working Christmas Day, doctor and nurse, they sort of demand that everyone goes to their house so the kids can play with their toys and be in their own space, which I agree with. I've always gone with the flow there as my kids were so little and there's been no big drama. I'm just so over spending every Christmas holiday with my in-laws and doing things their way, especially now we have our own kids and they're getting older. Okay. On Christmas Eve, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law with the kids like to have Santa visit my mother-in-law's house and give them gifts from Santa. That makes sense. We are expected to bring our kids with us as well. This is something that I absolutely hate because I feel like it ruins the magic of Christmas morning. My kids are very young and don't really like the big loud Santa thing yet and kind of scares them. Last year, Christmas Eve was a total shit show for me and the kids. And even though I was supposed to be there for all the grandkids, I felt like my kids were being overlooked and kind of left out. Last year, I told my husband I would not have them participating in this year's Christmas Eve Santa tradition. This year, I'm expecting a new baby, congratulations, about a week or two before Christmas. The in-laws have started Christmas planning again. Santa has been arranged again, etc., etc. I've told my husband with no uncertain terms that this year is going to be the year of starting to do things a bit differently and that we are going to have to start doing our own thing. I've said that I'm totally happy to visit for a few hours in the afternoon for family dinner on Christmas Day as my in-laws across the street are hosting. Because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are scheduled to work, they are easygoing and I can head back home at any point, but Christmas Eve Santa is totally out due to the experience last year and it being a tradition that I feel ruins the Christmas morning excitement. Okay. I'm not sure why, like I understand that the kids are upset, but I'm not really sure why meeting Santa on Christmas Eve ruins a Christmas morning excitement because we had a Santa come probably like 2 or 3 times. And I don't feel like it ruins it. If anything, it makes it more exciting because it's like, oh, well, get excited for the presents that are going to be under your tree tomorrow. So I'm confused by that part. Anyway, back to the story. He feels I'm being a bit unreasonable about it. I don't think I am. I said I just want to build our own family tradition centered around our kids and not other households this year. Plus, the not so small fact that I will be nursing a newborn, potentially still quite sore, makes me not so enthusiastic about spending a lot of time out of my own space. I've also suggested that in the next couple of years, we start having Christmas dinner just ourselves at home and spend Christmas morning with the in-laws and maybe even host a Christmas breakfast instead. He isn't enthusiastic. I feel I've been more than accommodating to his family during the holidays for many years, and now it's time for a little change. What do you think, and what do you guys do? So, like I said, I don't see why that takes the Santa magic away. I don't really agree with that. But also, I feel like, especially for kids, I mean, growing up, one of the best parts of Christmas was that we were around family. I know that the family's close, so I understand her thinking like she's accommodating with them all year. Like, what's the point in doing Christmas with them? But I feel like they have cousins, and being around cousins was something I really look forward to. And I think that, like, especially because they're starting to get a little bit older and starting to understand, I think being around cousins and stuff is fun. So I wouldn't say she is the asshole, but I would say that maybe like rethink it through the eyes of your kids, because being around family is, I feel like, a big part of the holiday season, and it's definitely something that I look forward to. Like, I didn't really, it's so funny because like I love my cousins. We used to see each other like only a few times a year, and Christmas and Thanksgiving was one of the times. And then otherwise, like if like they did sports or there was like something going on where we would get together, but definitely like Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter, we would see each other, and that was like the highlight of those times, was seeing my cousins. So I think that, sorry, I would continue the traditions that are kind of like put in place. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think in general about the Christmas fails. Have you guys had any Christmas fails that you were like, oh god? Some really funny ones. I actually asked on Facebook, but I don't think I got any answers about Christmas fails. But have you had any Christmas fails? Put that in the comments. What do you think about the am I the asshole? Do you think she is the asshole, or do you agree with her? Because some people, I mean, it doesn't sound like her in-laws are difficult. She seems like she gets along with them. So why not just continue the Christmas traditions? I mean, you have that whole week between Christmas and New Year's. You can do like your own thing then. And I think that seeing Santa is like every kid's dream, like on Christmas Eve. That's so cute. But let me know what you guys think. And do you have any like fun Christmas ideas, like some like great Christmas gifts that you got, maybe experiences, maybe toys, maybe something that you still cherish to this day, or even a memory that you cherish? I'll never forget one Christmas, my sister, went out and we got like a Barbie car, and we were like like one of those big Barbie cars, and we were like so excited about it. Like I said, my parents crushed it. Every year they made it so magical. So I got to make sure that I bring that same magic. So listen, whether you messed up your kid's Christmas or you crushed your kid's Christmas, at the end of the day, we are just trying our best, right? That's part of being moms. So I hope you enjoyed these ridiculous stories and were just as entertained as I was. Please like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen or watch. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter to get some extra laughs and some Elf on the Shelf ideas. I hope it's out by the time this episode airs, but if it's not, it will definitely be out by next week. This week, I'm going to send out the first week, I'm going to send out one of my favorite videos of all time on TikTok. I could watch it 20 million times and crack up every single time. It's a true Elf on the Shelf mom fail. So make sure to check that out. If you haven't checked out the merch, go and check out the merch. Buy it for one of your mom friends. I promise you it's hilarious and you will not be disappointed by it. There's still time to get some before Christmas, or if you want to start that new tradition and do a New Year's gift exchange, I love that idea. I think going into the new year with something special from your friends is a great idea. And, just like let a fellow mommer in your life know that you guys are there. You're bonding over the show. You listen. Next week, we have our very first guest on the show. I am so excited for it. I can't wait for you guys to listen. Thank you again today for listening and for supporting. And I will see you next week.